Greetings and welcome to SmartWatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchticks.com, and we review everything smartwear. I like that. Smartwear, not smartwatch. Smartwear. Okay, we got a smartwear inside this box. I'm going to show you right now, and I am really impressed with this. I did not think I was going to be. In fact, I started out with a bad attitude about it because it uses the Fundu Pro app for tethering and claims to do ECG. And if you've seen my other videos before, I've got a real issue with Fundu faking ECG. And yes, this band fakes it. So don't use the ECG on here. There, we got the bad stuff out of the way. Pretend it's not even here, because what else it does is incredible. It's incredible. It really is. I love it. Banggood. Yeah. Oh, I'm excited. Banggood has sent us this one, mainly because of the body temperature. That lit me up. Yeah, I went up a couple of degrees on that one. Have you ever seen a fitness band that measures your body temperature? Well, this one does, and you look like a total idiot doing it, but it works. Yeah, I'm going to tell you. No, I'm not going to show you. I'll be an idiot on my own time, thank you very much. The T02 body temperature ECG plus BPG, except that doesn't work. Heart rate monitor does, definitely. Oh man, wait till I tell you about that. Oh, I've been looking for this in just about everything I've been sent, and this one does it. IP68, yeah, waterproof, can swim with it, do everything you want. It's even got a music player. Yeah, it'll show you your weather. It's all in all, it's a really nice band. The T02 in gray, red, or green. Again, uses the Fundu app. Someday they're going to fix that, and it's going to be a great app, because 90%... All right, I'll get off my soapbox. The rest of it's a great app, as you'll see, because I'm going to have to show you some of it on the app as well. IP68, deep waterproof. It does support swimming. In fact, there's a swimming function on this one. Shower, rain, but don't do it in hot water, okay? Stay away from steam and stuff like that. It claims electrocardiogram measurement. That is false. It does not. But it does do this body temperature detection, and it's accurate as far as I can tell, because I did a real interesting test with it I'll tell you about. Multi-modes for all the different things that it can do sports-wise, weather display, and so forth. Has a G sensor and the heart rate sensor and the thermometer in there as well, and all this other good stuff too. You ready to take a look? Me too. I've got it in here. Pop it out. It's a very simple thing. It's got a really nice TPU. The different colors have different inserts, and they shine through the holes, so it looks really pretty. It's got a thermometer on the plate here, in case you wondered if it actually does thermometers. I purposely haven't cut my nails yet so that I could do this for you. Now I'll be able to cut them. Inside here, we've got something interesting. I've got a wire. Okay? And on this wire, I've got an extender. Now, why would I ever need an extender wire, which is kind of cool because it's free and you can use it for anything you want to extend? Why would I use it unless you charged it this way? Yeah. Oh, I got my little plate coming off. People complain that I toss these things around. Wait till they talk about how vicious that can be. I could plug it in like this now, and I can plug this anywhere I want. So kudos for sending out this little extender thing that goes with it. You saw it already came on, and that was as simple as touching the button down here, and there it is. And I'm going to show you all the good things it does. But first, the manual, which is worthy, wow, of taking a look at. There's nothing else in the box, because it's got some interesting functions, like I said. So I'm going to page through it. I invite you to freeze frame it and look at it at your leisure. I may miss one or two of the concepts on here. I hope not, but if I do, or there's some nuances you need to know about, they are in this manual. It's actually got some good stuff in it. How to set the notification, set that up. Yeah, firmware upgrade. I did have to do a firmware upgrade on this one when I first plugged it in and tethered it. So you'll probably need to do the same thing on yours. There's a fun chart. This is about the temperature. Now, as I'm paging through here, let me kind of explain how this temperature thing works. It appears that the band itself, is at ambient temperature, whatever the temperature is outside. And there's a range it talks about, 18 to 32 degrees Celsius, that the band needs to be in for this temperature thing to work. And the best I can tell what it does is it figures out the temperature of the ambient environment, or checks itself to see that it's not heating it up or cooling down, but is stationary in its temperature. Whatever it does, it has to do that for a while, because you put it in the temperature mode and you gotta wait. And you gotta wait, and you gotta wait a little longer, and eventually it's gonna vibrate. I will show you that part. When it vibrates, then you're in the mode to take your temperature. And you know where you stick it to take your temperature? It's a family channel. Don't even think that. You stick it on your forehead, please. Yes, I will. I will show you that part right now. I'm just going to skip through that. There's a nice, we got 3 different watch faces. You get your step count, right? And now you're at temperature. Press and hold. And it's going to show you, it says post vibration, post measurement. Now what that means, I'm sitting here waiting. It's doing its calibration, for lack of another word. And when it's ready, it's going to vibrate. But you don't have to actually, wait for it and watch it vibrate. You'll see this little symbol. And you stick that, pretend that's my forehead, okay? I haven't had success doing this. It really does want your forehead. And oh, by the way, you do not need to cover the plates in the back. You can just hold it by its edges and do this. It will work that way. So it all depends on the temperature of that plate itself. And it should be warming up. It worked! Cool! We got a reading right off of my palm fleshy area here. Now, it recommends your forehead, and maybe that's what it's calibrated to get the best reading for. But not only did I get it here, it just got shot over to the app, and I'll be able to show you something about it over there too. Ooh, it's going good today. Okay, if I press and hold, I can switch to a different watch face with a lot more things like temperature on here, as well as battery and Bluetooth and step count and blah, blah, blah. And I can get one that's a little busy and doesn't show up as well because of the white against the bright colors, but nonetheless, you got a nice, colorful one. And then back to this basic one, which just has larger digits but has all your information on it. Step count we went through. Temperature we just did. When you go into sports here, now press and hold, I could activate a walk, a run, cycling, climbing, there's swimming, or back out to sports. I don't have to hit a back button. It kind of takes me to that top level, and now I keep moving forward. Into health. Here's where it gets fun. Heart rate. Coming back to that one. Blood pressure, press and hold. And like typical, it's going to go through and use the diodes, and it's going to measure. And after a while, it's going to give you your let's see, what is it? Static, distatic, DOS. It's going to give you one of those numbers, the big number, the static. Yeah, it's going to give you one of those numbers. I don't think it gives you both of them on. No, it gives you both of them on here, but on the app, it only shows one on the main screen. It's kind of weird, but it's going to do your blood pressure. Trust me. Is it accurate? Don't trust me. I don't know. I don't think so, but I really don't know. Blood oxygen, same thing. You press, it's going to do its thing. It's going to wait for the diode. Should be on your wrist. You could do it here. You can hold it here. You could stick it on your forehead. Whatever you like. You should be able to get blood oxygen out of that. Okay. Here's the ECG. Folks, it doesn't work. You press it and hold it. It says long press to measure. You press and long press, and you're not going to get anywhere if it's not touching properly. So the plates are supposed to be touching, and you're supposed to be touching here when you long press it, and then it's going to go into its mode like it's actually doing it. It's giving you a heart rate coming from the diodes, and it's giving you a fake reading over on the app. I'm not even going to show you. If you want to see what it looks like, look at the review on the DT28 from number 1. Yeah, that'll impress the heck out of you. Okay, and then it comes back out to health. Remind me, I'm coming back to heart rate. There's my last night's sleep time. Look at that. And if I press on it, I get the breakdown too. So it actually records that on the band itself, and it'll transfer to the app, and you'll see all of the breakout of the whole night on there, which is really awesome. Messages can be pushed here to give you your information. Weather, when you press and hold, it shows you today's temperatures in Fahrenheit, if you've set it for that, and tomorrow, prediction and temperatures. It'll do centigrade as well. And when I leave here, I can come back to Alipay, which only works in China, and more. And in the more category, I tell you, this has got a lot of stuff. You got a stopwatch, the music player to play music on your phone when you're tethered. Here's where you can switch the dials if you don't do it like I showed you. You find the phone, which should make a fun little sound. Oh, it's in vibrate mode over there. Sorry, I always put it in vibrate mode when I'm doing videos. Hush, hush. You can... All right, I got to hit cancel. I'll be bringing that on screen here in just a moment. But anyway, you can find your phone. There's the QR code to scan to download the Fundu Fake app. I mean Fundu Pro app. About this watch, when you're tethering it, you're going to be looking for the T02. And it's easy to tether. I tell you, the Fundu app is a nice app if it just didn't do ECG. How do I get out of this? There we go. Reset the whole thing or power off. And this is the only way. You got to go all the way here to more, go all the way to the very end, press and hold to actually power the thing down. Kind of a pain, but that's the way it works. And then you're back to the main screen, and there's no way to go backwards, so you got to go forward all of those ways to get to that. All right, I'm going to put it back on because you didn't see it on my arm, did you? And we're going to bring the app over. Well, there it is. Nice, simple. It loops through and it presses down. But if you get your fingers under here and squeeze well, it goes into the holes nicely. It's not impossible. Some of them are really close to impossible. This one's pretty easy. One thing I didn't show you, when you're on the step count, you press and hold, and you get all of your breakdown of calories and distance and all of that typical stuff. Yes, you remembered. Ah, great. I'm going to go over here to heart rate. It's going to do my, wait a minute. You got to go all the way around again. I have to press and hold to get the heart rate to start. That just moved forward to blood pressure. Okay, I just started the heart rate. Big deal, right? This is never going to shut off. This is an always on heart rate. It's kind of like that ambient mode, that funky ambient mode on the newer smartwatches, the Android smartwatches, right? Where you have that one page that it'll show the heart rate on, but not anything else, I guess. And this is like that. Every band I've tested, every watch I've tested, when you get to the heart rate test, that's fine. It'll do the heart rate, and then after about 15 seconds to 2 minutes at the max, it stops and shuts off. Not this puppy. It's continuously doing the heart rate and more. And that's where the app comes in. Down finger. Be nice. They're friends. Here's the app. Fundu Pro. It's in its opening screen, and you know that because it's the big button down here. It's got that black background, so you're seeing all the reflections in the room. Shows you my weather on here. It's got a lot of things going for it. Here's just a synopsis of my step count against the goal with the thing going around, calories burned, the active time so far, and the distance traveled. That's all here, and that's the first arrow. If I go over this way, I've got a walking best record, and this is kind of your overall sports stuff if you actually get into that, which I haven't. But if you go this way, you get into last night's sleep time. And here is the full chart for this thing. And I can't do much with it other than show it to you. But you see total time, light sleep, and deep sleep. And you can change day by day here if you want to. Or you can go back using that arrow or my bottom arrow. And that was sleep time. And now, here we are in heart rate. And look at it jump around because it's live. It's matched with this. So, you're working out on your treadmill. Sorry so much for those reflections. There I am. Okay, what's the time down there? Everybody wants to tell Faith's reveal. There it happened. So you're working out on your treadmill. You could set this thing up on your treadmill and just exercise away with the band and not even have to look at it, because this is going to show you what's going on there. If you do interval training, which is something Mr. Tix is trying, he's really trying, you know, I got a long, steep driveway and I'll go down it and then I'll try to power walk up. And man, I can get my heart rate going really good in a matter of a minute, 2 minutes, and then cool down and go down and do it again and do it again. And this thing will go crazy. Now, in that kind of a case, I'm just walking really fast. So I don't actually see my heart rate till I get to the top. But if I have this up at the top where I'm kind of cooling down, I can glance over and see the heart rate, or I could look at it on the watch, the band, whatever. Yeah, they're in sync. Speaking of in sync, check this out. Here's the actual propagation of that wave over time with maximum, minimum, and average heart rate, dynamic, live. Not every 10 minutes, although there's a setting for that you can do a regular testing of your heart rate. But look how smooth it is. It's the full-on thing. Okay, I just stopped the camera for a little bit so I could accumulate some more live, low heart rate readings to show you. That peak that was over there, it's way back there now. See that? So it's adding stuff live, and you can see every time I move it, it adds a new point to the very end. The only drawback is there's no time markers. I have no idea when any of this happened or how far apart all of these waves and charts are, but it's basically my heart rate for the day. When you get to the end of the day, you get the whole darn thing, so you can use this as a predictor maybe of heart recovery time on how fast it comes down, but I don't know. Anyway, that's a drawback. It's got your actual heart rates on the side, but it doesn't have the time increments on the bottom. Plus, when it's going live, you really can't scroll it and do much with it. You have to actually stop it, which I can do because I think I've proved to you now that it just continues to run as long as you're running it. And now we've stopped it, so now I should be able to go in here. Beyond the heart, we get into blood pressure. That's where it says just 100, but here you're getting the actual numbers there. So you've got your blood pressure, and then you've got your blood oxygen, and it'll show dots on the graph. It's not continuous. It's every time you take a measurement, it'll put a dot on the graph. I only have one. That's why you don't see a line. Oh, okay, I got one from the day before. So those are on there. And that's it. Blood oxygen, blood pressure, heart rate, sleep time, and steps, and then your overall sports stuff. Quite a bit on that first button. But here's where the fun gets. I'm not going to evaluate the whole rest of the app. We've done this before. You can look at other reviews if you want to know setting things up. However, there it's synchronizing. You do need to update this to the latest version of the Fundu Pro app, because you're going to see an entry in here beyond ECG detection, which was something brand new that came in. We now have the body temperature test. And once we're done syncing, I'm going to show you that. You also have heart rate tests. You can come in here and set it up. This is where you can do the regular every 10 minute from whenever you want it to start to whenever you want it to stop type of a real-time test. But it's really amazing the way we're getting it now when you actually go into the heart rate reading and what it does. I'm doing a lot of synchronizing going on right now, probably because of that live heart rate. Okay, body temperature test. Now, I explained to you earlier how you do that, and not going to actually show you, but I want to show you the results. You're going to get an evolving body graph, and fortunately, this is actually showing you the times that you took your tests. That was at 11:17 and 11:19 this morning, and then another one that was earlier, or the later one, the one we just now did, came out here, and it's in centigrade on the device. You can't change it, but you can change it, and it'll map to what you set for your measurement type here, and it's in Fahrenheit here. Now, I know this sort of works because I did a test. I did this morning or last night. It was, and I got a reading. Then I did this in the cool of the morning, relatively. And after I took this test, I held a hairdryer up to my face and I blew hot air on my forehead while I waited for the band to cool down a little bit. And then a couple minutes later, did another test. And indeed, I got a bump up in temperature. And then again, we did this test just now. So I'm averaging in here between 97.1 and 98.4, but this was with heat applied to my head. So there's a possibility that this could be relatively accurate. And that's all I'm going to say in terms of accuracy. It hasn't really been proven other than this. Best thing to do would be to check it with a real thermometer, try it when you have a cold, and see if it works. But you saw I could do it without the band even attached to it, so if you want to keep it charged up and in your medicine chest, you could probably grab it just simply for doing the temperature testing. But that is a new addition. It's the first device we've seen with body temperature. Fundu is a foundational app for many, many, many different companies, many different bands and watches. We've already seen 3 or 4 doing ECG detection using this app, each and every one of them being fake, by the way. This does not do a real ECG chart. They all look the same. They're simulated. But now we're seeing body temperature, and these do look realistic, and they are different. They're not reproduced off of a canned routine in here. You got all the other things, find your device, take a photo, sedentary reminders, and on and on and on. Typical stuff. Spending a lot of time synchronizing right now, not sure why, but this is the Fundu app, this is the band, and I live with it in heart rate. That is, you know, and the battery doesn't drain on this very much at all. So if nothing else, to have a band that has continuous heart rate and can show it live on here, changing instantly to correlate with the band once you get it, you know, then this is a great combination to look for. And what is it? I've been so long talking, we've forgotten, right? It's a T02 from Bakeey, and it's body temperature, heart rate monitor, 24/7 live continuous, full IP68 waterproof fitness band from Banggood. Check the show notes. We've hopefully got a good discount coupon for you. And we'll be back again with more. Thanks for watching.